011001001011110000001.
Roughly translated to, this is the episode of Love, everyone. The first truly romantic episode in all of TNG. The love story of TNG. It's Minuet and Will Riker. And there's the advert on the YouTube video in the background. Shut up. Okay. There we go.
And it should be pointed out that the actress that plays Minuet was also in Spencer for Hire. She played Spencer's girlfriend for, I think she came in season 2.
And reappeared in TNG as his real wife in a fake world. Because Tom
Future Imperfect. Yes. Great episode.
It's really just a little cameo, but it's really fun. Should have been it like fully, but that would have been even more giving it away. Hi, Stuart.
Hi, Samuel.
How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
We just finished watching the episode, so it is as fresh in one's brain as one's brain could absorb said information.
Mm-hmm.
I have thoughts and feelings and impressions and...
Don't lie, you're not human. You don't have those things.
Okay, I mean, that's a little bit extreme, Stuart. I was trying to be nice and you... Wow, you just... Thanks, buddy.
Anytime, man. You can always count on me for stuff like that. Welcome, everyone. It's time for 11001001. That is the name of the episode, just so you know. It's one I have memorized.
I was about to say, I think he's quite proud he knows it.
Yeah.
Sup AG1M. Hi all, waiting for this. Hey! Thanks. Thanks.
Yes. So, yeah. Samuel's probably going to share it, and I will just talk about the importance of super chats.
And before we do that, I'll mention the importance of our Indiegogo campaign, because we're running an Indiegogo campaign currently for our Mission America 2 extravaganza, multiple trips, one big campaign. We had another donation yesterday, so we're doing a bit each day. We're at 52% of our 12,000 goal. Nice. Doesn't mean we get that. So actually what we're getting so far is 5,456. So that's awesome, but I'd love to see at least 7,000 or 8,000. So do look, we're starting to run out of perks now as people start to find the campaign and say. So if you want to get the answer mount pin, there's only one left, and that is the last one. So please do go for that. And then we'll see you guys on Saturday for an epic, earlier in the day, drunk live stream. We're going to introduce some new perks, which we're really excited about, because hopefully you guys will be very excited about those.
Yes.
And help get. And we've actually already got another person who's looking forward to seeing us in Vegas. I'll tell you about it after the stream, Stuart, because it'll be a reveal. But yeah, someone's excited to see us already. So help us get to Vegas, help us get to the Star Trek Continue sets, help Stuart get to England by Indiegogo now. And now I will share, Stuart. Now I've done my spiel for you. Do your spiel. Bye.
And yes, Dan23, I did always think there was stuff under those. So, but anyway, so yes, guys, as he said, check out the Indiegogo campaign. If you want some cool perks, there's some great stuff, including Trekyards comm badges, which are really great. So go check them out. And if you can't support via buying anything, you can always share the campaign around. That also helps out. So, but also, if you want to help out in this super chat or this live chat, super chats are an important way to do that, as they allow us to continue to do these, and also make sure that you get your voice heard, your question answered, your comment read as they come up in their own little window, and blah blah blah. You guys know the routine. Super chats are important. You can also donate via PayPal. All that information is down in the description down below. Lots of great stuff down there, including the Teespring store and some other ways to support the channel as well.
It is worth saying that anything from $1 to $100,000 is important. So if it can only be $1.99, it all mounts up, because if 10 of you think, yes, I'll give $1.99, that's generally something, and that's useful to us. So thanks so much.
Yes. People are talking about using the Google binary calculator to find out what the title means. By all means, do so. I have not done this. I was kind of curious about that the other day, and then I just kind of brushed it off and didn't get around to doing it. So let us know in the chat if you can. But yeah, if you guys are able to super chat, please do so. Also, 69 of you here, everybody hit that like button, and don't forget to click subscribe. A lot of people about 44% of of the people that actually watch our content are not subscribed to the channel, which is shocking. But that's okay. A lot of my friends that have been, friends of mine for years, just realized that they haven't actually subscribed. They just, I don't know. Anyway, so check it out. But yeah, this one was a joy to watch, in my opinion. But I'll wait for Samuel to come back because he likes to hear my first thoughts. So, but yeah, so everybody hit that like button. Let's get the likes up to at least 50. With 74 people here, that should be no problem. And please, everybody, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as it really helps us out. Also, click the notification icon. That also helps us out in the YouTube algorithms, and it helps you guys out to make sure that you guys get notified of all of our content, all of our live updates, all of our regular scheduled programming, and any breaking news or anything, it'll send you a notification. Hopefully, YouTube's been kind of about that with notifications sending out, but another way to make sure you're a part of that notification team is to go over to the Discord. There's actually a Discord server for Trekyards. Again, that information is down below. Check that out and join us on the Discord, as well as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of our social media. We got a lot of great content and a fantastic community to hang out with. So always check out all the links down below.
I'm back, baby. So, Stuart, until there's a super chat that forces us to talk about it, because that's what super chats do, they make us stop and talk about them. Stuart, what is your overall, general, spoiler-filled but brief review of this episode?
It was a really fun episode. I was looking forward to watching it again. I remember I have fond memories of this one, and I wasn't disappointed. I mean, the minuet stuff, the holodeck stuff for me kind of drags it down a little bit. It's a little bit too long and too involved. But the Binar stuff and just, the introduction to reusing the scenes from Star Trek 3 with the Enterprise entering space dock are great. So there's a lot of good stuff in this episode, and just having just two people on the ship kind of thing, and the self-destruct. There's a lot of great stuff in this that I really enjoyed. So yeah, I really thought this was a good one and a fun one, and I was looking forward to watching it, and I was not disappointed.
Yeah, I remember it's one of the better ones for sure. I remember being, though, not overly fond of it. Like, it has a soft spot, but not like it's one of the best. I don't think it is one of the best per se. I think it has a ton of ambition, a ton of things happen, a ton to cram in. Because of that, the consequences of anything don't quite feel big enough, because they've got to go to the next thing. While the pace is good, it doesn't quite, it has to jump from thing to thing to thing. Like, when you realize the binaural thing, you never quite feel it's the most important thing ever, even though it is the most important thing ever for that race, So it kind of glides along its plot at a steady... I even think the holodeck stuff, nothing is too much. Everything kind of stops at the right time and moves to the next thing. But there's, like if they were going to have... if it was a later season, they probably started at the starbase and focused on the end more, to have more time to get a sense the biomes are dying, and so it glances over a few things a little bit too much, but that's just because it's so ambitious. And the script is much better than last week. I mean, just goddamn, it's just so much better. This is a much better written Trek, and it feels better because of it. So yeah, it's good. But I think it hindsight. It's a hindsight. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, Fat Produce puts in $2 for the first super chat. 1010101010101010101010101010 hashtag drink. We're not drinking for this episode.
I did though.
Oh, he did. I don't have a drink actually. I usually have something, but
yeah. Well said, sir. Well said.
And my response to that is 00110001010101.
Stuart, less nipple, please. Come on.
Them in multiple episodes and not reference them just single time in Enterprise. Right?
In Enterprise?
Yeah.
Referenced?
Yeah, they're mentioned in Enterprise. I can't remember the episode. I think they're just naming the and we talk about this in our space dock episode. They're actually approaching Starbase 74, which is in orbit of Tarsus 3.
Yes.
And they're going to be docking for routine maintenance and upgrades, including to the holodeck that they've been having issues with, which we know the Dixon Hill thing, but could also be the virus in the last episode.
Just general holodeck bullshit, really, isn't it? Yeah, it's certainly a clever reuse of things. I know Micah could have said, you know that this starbase couldn't house a ship like that. And it's like, money.
Now we're just going to upscale it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes this starbase, like, as big as a Discovery sort of style thing. Makes Earth space it look tiny. Because the Enterprise D is significantly bigger than the Colony. This is a absolute... I mean, those windows are completely broken. I mean, the whole thing's broken now in terms of scale. But it looks pretty, you know. It's one of those that... I kind of wish they'd swapped the design for a different station in the remasters.
Or you just added something to this design to make it look slightly different.
Or just made a bigger door. Because the ship can dock in it. It just needs a bigger door. Well, that was always the joke. It can go in a different door. It's like, just you know, rotoscope on a different door into the miniature shot. And it being too close to Earth lookalike, if they just hadn't have used the moon still. Like, that was a big mistake to actually include the moon. Because it looks like Earth, and you've just seen this in, you know, Star Trek 3.
Yeah. But they should add another moon in the distance.
Yeah. Yeah, they missed a trick there a little bit.
But yeah.
It's certainly cool, although did you notice that the very first shot the Bassards aren't on?
I did not notice.
It's just a visual gaff they don't bother fixing. The Bassards aren't on, and yet when they actually go in the station, the Bassards are on. So it's just it's just a dumb visual goof that they didn't bother fixing.
Well, it's a great docking sequence, and I love it.
Well, it's the same docking sequence from Star Trek Motion Picture, so it was good then, still good now.
Not the motion picture, Star Trek.
You know which one I mean.
Brian Strait puts in $10.
Oh, wow.
A very good episode. Love the music in it as the ship enters the space dock, or the music and shots of the empty corridors with klaxons blaring. Top episode easily.
Absolutely. And I will say this one is very TNG Season 1 music, but it's not intrusive. It comes when it has to and doesn't hear over the head of the rest of it. This is a much better balanced episode.
Yeah. But no, I love the docking sequence. Even when you're replacing the D, like with the Enterprise D in there, I think it's fine.
Well, my good to have more star bases, like to give us a sense of, because they're always on the front lines. So it's nice to get this feels as a part of a fleet. Like I know we've been pushing it to hell, but it'd been great to have seen a static shot of inside a star base and replace Excelsior with something else, and like that would have been obviously, you know. Again, if you were mastering it with adding stuff, you'd add like some of the kit bash ships of the 359 fleet. That would have been perfect. But you know.
Yeah, that would have been great. Red Palace puts in $20. Thank you very much, Red Palace.
Dude.
As a kid, I liked the final moment Picard had on the bridge before he departed. Silly to say, but I really felt emotionally invested in the D after that.
Yeah. I will say that moment is just the example of really good script writing with the person understanding the character, which isn't always done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But no, this scene I could watch it over and over again. It's really good. And then I love the docking port that they have.
Yes.
It doesn't, fold out and all do weird Acme sounds like it does in Discovery. But it looks great, and you see people walking back and forth, and I think it's really fantastically done.
And we actually have a work bee in this scene. This angle is a bad angle, but later on it's just a work bee that I guess they painted silver. After I want to look at the Blu-ray again and take a screen cap because I want to zoom in on that. But yeah, it does look a bit daft though, having this big pylon and this teeny little pylon. But it's fine, Yeah. Because originally, if you recall, Andrew Probert they asked me to dock the station. They designed an outer docking pylon. They said no money, so did this instead. It's like, yeah, it's fine. It still works.
Yeah. And then you get the Binars and the technicians coming on board, and Mr. Childress from Mud's Women.
Mr. Childress?
I don't know if you knew that. Mr. Childress from Mud's Women. That's the guy with the beard, the bald guy. In Mud's Women, he's one of the miners that gives Kirk a hard time. Same actor.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
He looks very different, actually.
Yeah, I didn't realize it at first. I recognized his voice, and then once I found that out, I went back and watched it. It's like, yeah, that's the same guy. Wow. So, very cool.
And did you notice how before his binars actually go onto the ship or the people, the docking port looks exactly like the motion picture one, even with the outer like little pins. So they just obviously they reused part of that set or they whatever. Like this is a clever redress, but it's like it's the same doors from the motion picture for that set. It's like cool, linking technology eras. Good, good.
And Super Coops puts in £2. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Great episode. Really enjoyed it. Some great scenes. Yes.
And Roberto Ellison says, "Hello, gentlemen. God bless everyone. Thank you."
Yes, thank you.
Oh, and this guy also has facial hair, which is not often done, but if you are a facial hair wearing officer in a fan film or whatever, you can say, hey, they do have some officers. Give me 1 second to be back in.
Yes. And there's a mouse pointer on the screen. Well, at least there isn't the delayed image that I'm seeing. Oh, there it's gone now. Okay. So yeah, and the fact that he was in Mud's Women, that actually surprised me when I first heard that. But now going back and watching it, it's like, yeah, it's clearly the same actor. So it's cool that they have a lot of the TOS people not reprise their roles, but come back. So that's great. But this is where he basically states, you guys were late. We were delayed at Omicron Pascal. And because they were late, that comes up later as a kind of a plot point as to why things happen the way they do.
Well, you kind of like some continuity here, mentioning, oh, we were late because of last week. The thing that she did last week. Because there was one where they were late and they left late or something. But oh well, continuity. It's fine.
Well, they're just trying to show that there's more missions that we don't know about.
And what do you think of the Binar makeup and design?
I like it. It's very, very unique, very cool. The little tufts of hair are kind of off-putting for me personally.
Tufts of hair?
Yeah, there's one or two of them that have little tufts of hair.
Oh.
As you can see there in the one shot.
Oh,
like side right here.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's a little off-putting, but whatever. It's not a big deal. But the fact that they got the little implants and stuff.
Yeah, for me, I think they're pretty great. Are they children? Is that the implication? Because they're pretty darn small. I mean, Stuart's not that big. I mean, or they're
all the races just shorter.
Yeah, but you have to cast people. I don't mean who are playing them. You're hiring like 5 foot people. I'm just saying, like, I guess I just have to hire really small actors because they're Naddal.
Okay. But there's no males and no females. They're come as a set and they're always together. This is 10 and 01. The main ones here. So.
And Trek Review asks, "Where is the docking port?" And it's actually on the ship. Yeah. Ooh, and Dan 23. The 4 actors playing the Binars were all women dancers whose voice was mechanically lowered in pitch. Originally, they were designed to speak. But yeah, so women. Finally, but it's fun to see each set like as we need it more. The money goes into that set. It's kind of fun. Yeah,
and then later seasons it's all just fleshed out and it's so beautiful. Here we find out that they just finished upgrading the Wellington. They need to do all this in 48 hours because in 48 hours plus 6, as Picard says, we have an appointment on Helios 5.
Look about, very workhorse, very average day. It comes across very well that way.
Yeah. And the Binars are like, it's tight, but we'll be able to do it. Well, Riker and I will stay on board should you need us. I don't think we'll need you till the time of inspection. So in other words, we don't really need you on board. But
nice confidence there.
Yeah. And then we learn that they're so we'll get to that in a second. That's the next scene, actually.
And we missed something because obviously we can't see it. But this episode marks the first appearance of Majel Roddenberry as voice of computer.
Yes. Actually, there's 3 different computer voices in this episode. Yeah. There's one for the holodeck. There's one for the bridge. There's another one. There's a male one, too. In engineering for the auto-destruct. It's a male
he's
voice.
Also on the... it's weird. It feels very inconsistent with how... Because watching this time around, obviously it's a little bit later, but as soon as... It's Majel for the start, but But as soon as they're in the computer, the holodeck, and they try and get out of the holodeck, it stops the mail. So I assume, oh, that's a sign. That's a hint the binars are taken over because now they've reprogrammed the computer. But no, it's self-destructed guy as well, and Magell comes back. So it's just a poor choice of having multiple voices. It screws with the audience, and it doesn't feel cohesive.
Yeah.
Although Magell wasn't as good as she later bees, you can hear her breathing. Because she has a lot of lines. She says something and goes, and talks, and it's like, ooh, that's not great, Magell. But promised there, anyway, at least. If not great.
Sup AJ1M puts in £5.
Oh,
thank you.
Hi again.
The only thing that didn't make sense about this episode is a Starfleet cybernetics guy that was at Starbase doing a lecture but didn't want to meet because they're so interconnected with the computer on their home planet that their thoughts are completely in binary to make things quicker and faster.
Yes.
And of course, Picard's going to go read a book.
But also with his special pleasure light, personal relaxation light. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
It's the future, I guess. Now, I want to give one bit of really strong credit to this episode. It's both weird, but also excellent. Most of this first bit is scene to scene, where it cuts from people talking in a corridor to a different corridor to a room to a different corridor. Each corridor looks and feels different. They're shot differently. And you get such a broad feel of the ship. Even though it's the same damn set, it feels big, it feels massive, it feels energized, and it's all shot handheld, and it feels really, like, big.
Yeah.
Like, no episode's felt that
because the ship's... Yeah, it's because the ship's empty. There's only 2 of them, so they want to do that to make it feel like it's such a big ship. That's why when Riker's wandering around, it's kind of great, actually.
But I'm just saying the cinematography is actually really, like, unusual amount of freehand, and it really works well here. It's more modern style for an older day.
Yeah. And we find out that Riker's not very good at organizing his personal time, but something will come up or turn up. Something will turn up. It always does. And
I will say that the standout performances are the interaction dynamic between these two, Picard and Riker. Like the writer of really gets these people and gets their vibe, and it's played so well. These guys grow a lot in this episode in terms of just like, yes, they're clicking. It's good.
Yeah. So Picard and Riker leave engineering. They do a walk and talk in the hallway. They get in the turbo lift. They come off on the bridge, and there's already binars on the bridge.
Yes.
Now, those obviously aren't the same binars that were in engineering, I would assume.
Yes.
So how many binars came on? Because we saw 2 come on with the Mr. Childress guy, even though that's not his name in this episode, and some technicians. So when did they get on board? How long have they been there? How many are on board? I get very confused with that. I think there's only 4 on board, which means these 2 from engineering that were just there as they left made it to the bridge before they did.
Yep.
Even though they did a walk and talk to a turbo lift and then up to the bridge.
Yep.
So I'm confused. Like, are they the same binars or are they not? Because I really don't even
it's
know.
the same makeup people. I mean, I tell you what, let me just rather than just saying that, I'm gonna get a split screen going here with both people. But I mean, it can't be anything but the same people. I mean, you could argue
it's obviously the same actors, and it's like, oh, they all look alike, kind of thing. Yeah. But how many are there? Because later we only see 4,
and heavily implied that's the only 4.
Yeah, exactly. And they were running late, so I could see them bringing more on board, perhaps.
Which is also what they say. I mean, it would have been great if every time you were cutting to them in a corridor, doing a walk and talk, binars were fixing something, implying there were like dozens. And they all look the same, and it's just like, not clones. But yeah, it isn't played right here. I mean, you could kind of assume that maybe there's 4 up here, and then the 2 that are engineering, they go help Riker with the holodeck. Maybe. But it doesn't help with the same 2 actors, or 4 actors. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could probably argue at stretch that they site to site beamed up because every moment is wasted. But that's a bit of a stretch. What do you guys think, actually? Because this could be either way. I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah. And then Wesley...
Dave Cross. Going to turn on my personal relaxation light and watch Trekyards. Good.
So Picard buggers off to his ready room, and Riker comes up and talks to Wesley, and they kind of have a back and forth with the binars, and yeah, they got one of those wooden panels off. There's control things behind that. I think that's fantastic. I love that there's hidden details on the bridge, so I think that's great.
Well, that's the idea of the Connie corridors, which is what we saw in Tamira, is that they're all consoles. You can slide any of them out and repair stuff. I mean, to ones that aren't, when there aren't rooms there, obviously. But yeah, it's all functional space. I mean, there's not going to be that much hollow space in a ship excess, is there?
Yeah. Well, I love this conversation, though, because at the end, Wesley's like, you act like you don't believe them.
Yes.
Riker's like, I'm not sure I do. I'm going to go stroll around the ship. Keep your eye on them. So kind of giving Wesley, I don't know if he's just giving Wesley something to do to make Wesley feel important. Like, I trust you to do this. I'm going to go wander around. Or if he actually really doesn't trust them. I don't know. It's interesting. It could just be part of the mentoring thing, you know, testing them, giving them an assignment. I don't know.
It is odd. I found it strange that he was instantly suspicious. Maybe that's also part of why they distracted him with something very direct, because he's the one that called them out. Because it's a weird thing for the audience. We don't know what's happening yet, so to make the audience let on to the fact these guys might not be on their level is weird to do straight away, and sort of abandon it for half an hour. I will say Wesley. I think Wesley is balanced in this episode. Not too much, not too little. He's there doing a thing. He's not annoying. It makes sense he's there. Moving on. You know?
Yeah.
It's right. He's just there, but he's there for a sort of a reason. Because of all the people he would want to learn, he'd volunteer to stay back because it's more interesting than playing games with his non-kid friends. Yeah.
And we get to see isolinear chips being slid in and out, which is cool. And then the sideways glance of the binars.
That's great.
There's that hint of suspicion, like there's something weird going on.
Yeah, it's a well-directed episode, legit well-directed. And the binars say Jane Donaldson. The binars say there's only 2, but due to short schedule, they would bring other 2 on board. I remember them saying more on board. Don't remember saying bring 2 on board, but that still doesn't help.
They said more.
Yeah, but that doesn't also help with them having to get over there first, as you said. It doesn't fix the problem. It'd be better if there were 6, which is fine. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, maybe there's 6. Don't know.
Yeah.
Or 8. Or 10.
Or even have that intro scene where they walk on. There's only 2 of them with the Starfleet guy and the technicians. There should have been 4 of them there. That way, 2 of them went to engineering. The other 2 headed to the bridge.
Yes.
That would have made more sense. Anyway. And then he's wandering around and he runs into, I guess, the security detail, who's been challenged to a Parisi's squares. And he's like, want to join? We can switch off. You lose the rhythm of the game. We will be victorious, no matter the cost. Worf. It's just the game. Yeah.
Thoughts?
I kind of like the fact that they're, going off the ship to do something relaxing during all this. It shows that, there's friendly competition in Starfleet with the guys on the starbase or whatever, but I don't know. I just want to know what Parisi Squares is. I really actually
Well, we do find out later on. There is
kind of.
Wow, yeah. Dumb outfits, obviously, but future. This scene stood out. There's a lot of standing out bits, but they're trying to fill time to distract you so you don't think what the plot could be.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Which is then weird because it's such an overstuffed episode, but it's still also important. It's a very oddly balanced episode, but not to its detriment, just not to its excelling, Yeah. So you didn't need this. You really didn't. But I do appreciate it, though, because when Worf says, well, if there's score, I will try and win. Paraphrase. Which I
just
thought,
have fun. It's not a competition. Why do we keep score?
Because Riker shouldn't have to explain that. As you pointed out last week, he grew up on Earth. Most of his adult life has been with this social structure. But then Tash says, I think he's joking. He's trying to better be human. I'm like, okay. That was a poorly done joke, but it's a joke within a joke. Okay, fine. So it was a bit...
It would have been better if he had said it, and then as he was walking away, give a little smirk.
Yes.
Just passing the camera. We didn't get that. So we're not sure if he actually was joking.
He must be. Yeah. Yeah, and again, very little Tasha this episode. Even though security, I was expecting when they gets the ship gets taken, she should have like rolled into action as security chief.
Well,
You
she
know,
has
she
a few lines later
she
that
has
show
it,
that she's kind
but
of doing
Data's
something.
the one that is the boss.
Well, yes, because
It should be Tasha,
he's the highest ranking officer there as far as
but
command structure goes.
Tasha should
That's not on the
be.
ship.
Shouldn't Tasha be higher rank, chief of security?
No, I don't think
But
so.
you would think in terms of security matters, she should be.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's just weird that it defaults to Data when she doesn't even pipe up really. Small thing, but again, they don't know what to do with Tasha. It's really strange. Really, really strange.
And then moving along to another. Oh, yeah. So first of all, it powers down. The section he's in powers down. The lights go down. So he asks the computer what's going on. Well, this is Magell again. The first time. This we can hear her breathe actually. And computer says it's as is typical, they're shutting down power in non-important areas while things are going on. It can be reinstated anytime if you need it. And he's like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
And Ryan K says, Data is second officer. Yes, but in a medical situation, the doctor has authority in tactical officers. If a second officer can have authority over those officers, then what's the point of those officers? Specialists for a reason, It's important.
Mm.
It's just her not being assertive enough, really.
Then we find Data and Geordi painting in the conference lounge behind the bridge. So he went from the bridge to wherever he went, and then went back up. So that's fine. Whatever. No, that's fine. Because then he goes to sick bay.
Which is doubly funny, actually, because Data says, I should be on the bridge. It's like, dude, you're the next room over. You're really close. Really close.
I thought the same thing. I don't think this is supposed to be that conference room, though, at this point.
Well, we don't see out the window, even though obviously they're not redressing the wall, so it's the same damn room, or they're the same exhibit in 10 rooms, but they don't show us the window on purpose. Obviously, that'd be a difficult shot. I love that, though, his love of painting is right from the start.
Yeah.
Right from the start.
And Eugene puts in 500 rubles.
Thank you.
Did we, or writers, know at this moment that Worf had grown up in Russia, somewhere in Russia? Not at this point. It's not been mentioned yet.
I mean,
the writers probably knew.
Well, you would assume it'd be in the writer's guide because there's a detailed brief of all the. I've read it. It's a good brief on all the characters, and it has Tasha's backstory, it has all that stuff. It doesn't. I don't believe it just says Worf's parents died. I think it says Worf's parents died and he lived on Earth. So I
Rask is a farming colony of Galt. Oh, there you go. So they're testing to see whether Data can be creative, and this is a nice little conversation. And I love the way it ends. Make sure you're taking notes, sir. Well, a blind man teaching an android how to paint has to be worth a few pages in someone's book. Yeah.
Isn't that just A-star dialogue?
Yeah.
It's understanding.
It's like a joke. It's like a punchline of a joke. A blind man teaching an android paint.
It's understanding everything about the situation, all three characters, all the motivations, and it's just.
And nobody's offended. Like, you called me blind. Like, these days, this day and age, it'd be like so offensive. Why are you calling out the blind guy?
Because it's impressive.
He's blind.
But it's a wonderful context, though. But really, if you do logic this out, these two each have a unique visual perspective. So they together they should create unique art, because the perfect strokes of an android with the unable to see the basic spectrum, like the visor can see everything else, But I like that all he can do is replicate. That's the subtext. Mm-hmm. He's taking something, replicating it, and then sort of saying random things to do. It is. I mean, it's quite a cool painting, although it's still structured. But again,
there's some kind of eggs.
Yes.
I forget what they said. And he's like, "Oh, that's what those are."
Which is a fun little. And Data's like,
Yeah, Data had that look on his face, like, "Really, you can't tell? Did I do it wrong?"
It's a good scene. Again, why is this scene here?
To build its character development. It's to build this friendship between Data and.
But I mean, for the story.
Oh. To show that everybody's in a relaxed state because the ship is at a starbase.
Yes. So it's lulling to a false sense of security.
Yes.
But there's another subplot. That's what I'm saying. This episode is filled to the absolute brim. I mean, are any scenes wasted without character moments? Actually,
I would say no, actually.
actually. Wow. Shit, okay. It does help to have a simple plot, though. Like, a really simple... There's also no... Like, there's nothing to overcome. It's a simple plot, but it's just filled with stuff.
England DG is here, and he says, we missed pleasure lights. No, we mentioned the pleasure light. Soak in my pleasure light and read.
Manga Monkey said, I believe that's one of Dave Archer's paintings. He's local to where I am. I was lucky enough to tour his studio once and bought one of his glass paintings. Cool.
That is very cool.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. So next up is sickbay. He wanders into sickbay, and he's like, are you leaving, doctor? No. Professor Terrence Epstein is on the station giving a lecture. He's one of the leading minds in cybernetics. And she's all excited to talk to him. So
this is the most odd one out because it doesn't mean anything at any point ever. Although someone in the chat, I think Dan23 again, using the Memory Alpha Wiki, said the doctor was meant to appear but was cut. But it's like, you should just cut this scene. No offense, but again, you need a more end. This is the most redundant one. Although for some reason, do you notice the audio in the scene is much better? Like they're both watch it again. They're both completely different audio levels. I feel like maybe they use like lavalier mics but hidden, or they've got mics like down below. It's really different audio. It's weird. It's cool actually. I was quite like, oh. Okay.
Well, I really like this scene, and then the walk through the hallway. She hands him the thing that she had, and she's really excited and walking backwards, and then she's like, I don't have time for this, and then grabs the thing from him. I kind of like that. It's a good scene.
I forgot the payoff. Yeah, no, I give it credit. Again, these are character moments, aren't they? And it shows the ship, walk and talks, moving the camera. Okay, no, I'll give you credit. Yeah. You know what this is? This is a much better crafted Orville Season 2 Episode 1. Where it was 4 B plots, no A plot, and nothing that exciting. It's just character moments, but it doesn't connect.
Yeah.
This one had a sort of razor thin A plot with like 9 B plots that go nowhere, but it gives the same character build.
And Christopher Rollins says, why would Crusher be interested in cybernetics and not medicine? My assumption would be because Data's on board. People have other interests, first of all, but Data's on board, so he's technically a patient of hers. She just found out about his off switch. She probably thinks that it might be a good idea to get to know more about cybernetics. I think that would be... And plus, people are allowed to have different interests.
And let's be honest, right? I'm sure the mechanical heart in Picard's chest has some, clever... biomechanoid things. It's not just
exactly.
This tech. I mean, also Joy's visor. I mean, this tech could go places. Plus, she said, he was famous at the time when I was in the academy, and he went to my school and was really cool. And but it is very odd they didn't reference Data. Like, there was a missing link there of, like, she should have said, "Oh, I'm meeting Data there because Data's a celebrity to him or something." I don't know.
Yeah. Then he wanders off again and runs into the Binars fixing the Well, they've already fixed the holodeck. The holodeck is fixed. There's been enhancements, but nothing more. He's like, well, maybe
such a creepy enhancements, but nothing more.
Yeah. So he's like, maybe I'll just, test it out. And he picks the Bourbon Street Bar in New Orleans. This is a great setup, like setting up the room, piano, bass, and drums, and a bone for me, a trombone. Then I just love the way that you see the empty room, and then you see the people, and then actually the next part's really great, where he wants, an audience, and it's like, oh, it's too busy.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like 2 a.m. So something a little more intimate, and you get a blonde, and he says blondes and jazz seldom go together, whatever that means. And next one pops up, and he says that's truly exceptional but more sultry, and I disagree, Riker. Number 2 is the one. Keep that one. But then we get Minuet. And Minuet's fine and all, but she's not really my type. Even though, like I said, she was in Spencer for Hire, which is one of the shows me and my dad watched when I was a kid. My dad really liked Spencer for Hire, and my dad thought she was absolutely gorgeous. So I was like, I prefer the second woman here, personally. But
what was that show about?
Spencer for Hire. He was like a private investigator, or a maybe it was actually a private investigator or not. But it was just one of those 80s shows like Jake and the Fat Man about a private investigator, or Simon and Simon about private investigators, or the Rockford Files about a private investigator, or
yes.
And more sultry, seductive women, I guess.
My comments on this, again, sorry you're in delay, but if you jump back a second to when he actually enters the room, I love the opening door shot and you see him look, because you can see the smoke of the actual room, because again, I think they've used a set on a lot, because the set is too well detailed to be a build. There's a lot of stuff to hire for a single, only 2-day shoot, 3-day shoot. So it's on a lot, but it's a good set. But I just love they put the holodeck set and a bit of the corridor right outside the door, and so as he opens it, that's just the smoke of the real set. I love it. It's so integrated. It's so seamless. Love it.
I gotta jump in. Sorry.
Yeah.
Going back to Spencer for Hire for a second, I forgot to mention that Avery Brooks, or Cisco, is in that.
Oh.
Thank you, Martin Devon and RL
Nice.
1712 for mentioning that. But yes, he plays a specialist named Hawk. He had the bald head, he had the goatee, and then when he got the role for Star Trek, they said we don't want that rough look. We want you to look. So he grew his hair back, and he really hated doing that. But yeah, so his character Hawk from Spencer for Hire got a spin-off show called A Man Called Hawk, which only lasted a season or two. But yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Cool. And that was from the DS9 doc. Real interesting.
Yeah.
And I like the crowd, because I thought 3 or 4 people were going to turn up, but yeah, it's just down to 1. But I love his context. Although I will say that the second lady, her hair is absolutely awful. It's absurd and looks bad. But apart from that,
that's 80s hair for you.
Exactly. Terrible. Does not hold up one day. Now, okay, let's talk about Minuet for a second, because we'll jump through stuff. What do you think of the performance? Because I'm sort of mixed on what I think about her performance as Minuet.
I think it was fine. Exactly what they were going for. That kind of jazz aficionado, kind of sophisticated. I think it worked out really well. I love his line too. This is what you call enhancement, you have a gift for understatement. But no, I think it was really good. And even the way she tests, not really tests him, but like puts Riker through his paces, and later he says, it's like she's connected to my subconscious. She says exactly what I want her to before I know what I want her to say.
Yep.
Because she's like, I love all jazz except Dixieland.
Yep.
You can't dance to it.
Although the joke being, and she sort of alludes this later, is that she has access to all the files, whereas most holograms don't in the same way, that she can connect files. So she knows his record, which probably has likes and dislikes. So she's using, like Isaac in the holodeck with Claire, she knows his playbook. So obviously they tailored her to what he likes, because he's, open book to them. So with Minuet, I'm mixed, because I think her acting is relatively wooden, especially in the first bit. It's blank as anything. The problem is, the character she has is such a specific thing. It's a non-human program, heightened sensitivity program, but also manipulated by robots who also are learning the program as they go, and she's also evolving as they go.
Well, they're not robots, but
sorry, you know what I meant. But they're. But as it goes on, she gets more natural. But I think that's because she's adapting to him. So I think she's awful at the start, but that's also the point. So it's hard. I don't like watching her for the first third. It's just like, wow, that's bad acting. But that is also the point. So you know what I mean? It's annoying. Like, it's the point, but it's not good.
Yeah. This is one of the most famous lines from TNG, in my opinion.
Ooh.
What's a knockout like you doing in a computer-generated gin joint like this?
Yeah.
Great line.
The script is good in this episode. Like it is on not on fire, but it is a strong script.
ISFJ 1009.
Adrian Dominguez. Hello.
Well, also known as giving up his identity. That's not cool. Anyway, I would absolutely love to spend my time off while on board in the Holo
Yeah.
Lounge. It is such a departure from the 24th century feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gestrel 1980 puts in $2. Totally a Janeway haircut. Hashtag Trekyards rocks.
Is this the first time we see people in the holodeck? No, that's an interesting. I appreciate the. This episode's been thought through, you know, clearly. They make distinct connections as to why this holodeck character is special. Like, that's the entire point of these scenes. But I like that we're seeing an evolution, even within first season TNG, that, you know, people ask, okay, so in the holodeck, just go in and have sex with women. Well, you can, I guess, but as non-entities, you know? If they can't even replicate anything natural of a person, what's the point? And so this is why Riker could be so manipulated by her, is because she is more real than any hologram ever. This is when the danger becomes a thing. And then obviously getting Voyager, like Fairhaven, several of them fall for holographic people because now they're AI enough to be people-like. But how could you, you know, fall in love with holograms that were as basic as the earlier ones? So I like that we're seeing this evolution as we go. What do you think?
I kind of disagree with that. I think that they've been able to interact with people all along. Just it's getting much more advanced, and yeah, like the AI, like you said, gets upgraded. This is the next level kind of thing, and it surprises them. And then later, when he goes back, it's gone. The enhancements are gone. It's back to just kind of like. Plus, this one is interacting specifically with him as Commander Riker. And not as another holodeck character,
well, no,
so it's not like a fictional character.
She does adapt to Picard.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. She knows she's on a holodeck. She knows she's a hologram, like the Doctor kind of thing.
Yes.
She's not putting on any other, you know, she's not pretending to be anything else. She's, you know, she's there specifically to talk to them.
So she can be herself, quote unquote. She's not being someone else. She's being what she's meant to be.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I know we obviously had the last one with Dick, the hologram detective thing, and there is that fine line. I think we're meant to infer from the episode is that these people sort of have scripts. That if you talk to them, there's limits to what they could say, do, interact, and so
like a video game. Go to the guy in the park. I have nothing for you right now. Go back a minute later. I have nothing for you right now. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
I think the holodeck would mix it up and make it a little bit. But if it's based on a fictional novel, yeah, they have to stay in the parameters of what their character.
And that's why I think. I mean, obviously, again, talk about the sex analogy because that's what everyone thinks about at least once. Well, what could you do this? And obviously, you could like invent a whole novel where you're in a brothel and they're all women, but again, it's not real and it wouldn't feel real, but it wouldn't. You know, it's just it's as fake as you can get. It's just like blow up dolls with words. So I still think this is the evolution that now it's actually interacting dynamically that they couldn't do before. She's not on a script, whereas the other ones were on a script. I think that's all I'm trying to say. Like, there's that new interaction which didn't happen before, and obviously, as you say, it doesn't happen again for a bit because Minuet was unique, but they are capable of that just with a bit of enhancement.
It's like today, like if you talk to Siri, I mean, there's only so many responses she'll give for a certain question. She can do different jokes and all that. She can go through her jokes. Eventually, she'll come back around. And the next step for that kind of technology is going to be kind of intuitive. It's going to know what you want to say.
Hello, Stuart. How are you today? Oh, I'm feeling all right. Well, have you gone to the football recently?
I see you're at this location and you're accessing the. Are you looking for something specific? I know you like burgers or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's that next level where it's kind of intuitive.
Do you need a lap dance? There's one only 1.2 miles away.
Eugene puts in 500 rubles. Eugene.
Thank you, Eugene.
A lot is forgiven if you watch it the first time because you think holodeck can create characters and plot on the fly. Wow. It's not like a book where it's like the beginning, the end, and there's obviously a middle. So you got the characters will have to do their thing. This is, I want a jazz hall or a small bar, and I just want to interact. There's no end to the program. It could literally go on forever.
Well,
so.
It's one of those things where he like the jazz players, they're just the computer knows what, you know, the task is unbound by a story, but you can still have them run as, like, for example, when Wesley went to the snowboarding program, I'm sure there are snowboarding characters in that simulation, but all they do every day is snowboard in a generic, no, there's nothing new there. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's interesting. Like I say, I like that they're doing evolution, and this isn't that far into even season 1 per se. So they had to have, like, let's really invest in this holodeck, let's really think it through, which again a lot of other shows just don't do. You know, it's all internal lore. It's all stuff. You know.
Checker here says, but does she feel real? I would assume yes. Whoa, get away from that.
And that was the point of far point. Wow, I can smell the humidity.
Yeah.
Steps towards.
And this scene with the binars here, where they're like watching them, and then all of a sudden they're like, and they start doing more stuff. It's like later that's explained that they saw his interest in her, so they ramped things up a bit so she could keep him distracted.
Yep.
So I love that, and I never noticed that on all the other watch throughs until this one. Later on, when I'm paying more attention to dialogue, that I get, we saw your interest in her, and it's really subtle. I don't know if I'm just an idiot, didn't notice it, but I didn't notice it.
Well, again, once you know their plot, and this is why I say she's very wooden in this scene, because in this scene she hasn't been enhanced in the same way. She's just responding. Then it becomes something else, and again, I love that evolution. I mean, how do you know he wanted to see a beautiful woman that day?
Because he's Riker, man.
Which, as someone points out, 2 girls in 2 episodes. Lucky man.
What? Yeah, it's like the Kirk episode. Oh, I'll be right back. Just one second.
Okie doke. Hi guys, it's me. I had a meeting today where I showed a possible new actor com badges, and I was saying how they get to wear the future one. How cool is the com badge? It's not that big in real life, but real scale. Beautiful. Love them. Hello.
Hi. Did you read the super chat?
No, although I'll read something else first. Turning 3434 Trekyards. I thought DS9 already kind of implied that holo suites were used for this purpose. Probably not a piece of software that stuff is actively pursuing, though. Yeah, but DS9's quite a lot of years after this, and it's also not Federation tech. So yes, but that's a different, yes.
Yeah. Did you read the super chat
I
yet?
did not.
No?
Dude, you're the super chat man. I leave you the honor. Because, I mean, come on. They're not here for me. They're here for you. And hearing your voice and hearing them say your name.
Mr. Poshney, please report to the bridge. Mr. Poshney to the bridge, please. And bring your 10 pounds with you. Thank you very much. Hey, guys. Happy to see you reviewing this episode. It was the first Star Trek episode I remember watching as a child, and I still love it. No question. Just wanted to send some money to you both. Cheers. Well, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And yeah, this is one that definitely sticks in my mind from first viewings. Because I thought the binars were cool. The whole space dock sequence, because of Star Trek 3, it was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And I never considered the size of the ship and all that crap back then. I just, as a kid, I thought that was fantastic to see the ships, because I was a ship kid even back then. So, but yeah.
This one is actually quite a unique one, because it's very diverse, well thought out, very pacey, and a lot of visuals. A lot of it's reused. That's what's quite clever. It's a very reused, and it's such also a bottle show. They use all their money on very small, specific things, but they get a lot out of it. And also, someone else said, who said it? Yes, Patrick Pleel said Telosians. Yeah, the shot is very Telosian, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of people compared the new Telosians from Discovery to look like the binars a little bit with the heads design and coloration. So, yeah. So then they're on the bridge. They're back and forth to each other. And Wesley's like, what's that sound you make? It's our primary language. We receive and store information in these buffers until needed. And that's the things that are on their waist. Which is really cool. So they get a whole data dump of information, and then they can process it as they need it from that device, which is kind of neat, kind of like a little hard drive.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's they put again a lot of thought into this episode.
I love how it goes to the Starfleet guy first. I have a question about the binars. He's like, why don't you just ask them?
Yeah. Well, I
So,
thought because they're busy.
yeah, like we were on time crunch here because we were late, so I
Because
didn't want to bug them.
what if his question is like a 10-hour answer?
Yeah,
You know, so what do you guys do on an average day?
answer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's yeah, it's and again, this is the right use of Wesley. He's intriguing youth.
Yeah, and Martin Devon says, "Shut up, Wesley." Wouldn't it be funny if he says, "I have a question about the binars. What's your name, son?" Wesley, sir. Shut up, Wesley. Went back to work.
What's your name, officer? Wesley Crush, sir. Shut up, Edison. Wesley. No, that's good. So yeah, Picard comes in and he says something about something, but he's like, "Oh, I'll go. Should we go talk to Riker? Oh, I'll go talk to him myself." And then obviously you think, so he's in the holodeck by himself. You know, just gonna barge in. He is the captain after all, but you know.
The door would have been locked if something, or there would have been a sock on the door if something was going
Ah,
on. A sock on the control panel.
or no, it'd be a I mean, there's got to be a symbol, hasn't there, outside of it, like some sort of, you know, on the panel. It's like, yep, this is the locked for reasons.
When it's a anybody can come in. There's a big silhouette of a penis with a thing through it, so there's no penises going on. There's no sexy time. That's how you know.
That's holodeck 6-9. That's the dedicated sex holodeck.
Yeah, this is holodeck 4. It is worth pointing that out. That where's Commander Riker is in holodeck 4. That wasn't mentioned. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $1.99. Shut up, Wesley. Hashtag Binar like spike. Everybody hit like. We have 144 people. We should have 100 likes easily by now. And everybody that's here, 144 of you, check and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button and the notification icon. They're important. And yes, a lot of people watch stuff and not subscribe. So click subscribe.
Honestly, I'm gonna pause this for a second and say we're 81 likes. There's a lot of you. There's a lot of you here. Click the like button. I want to see 90 likes before we continue. Click that like button. Like button. Click it. Click that button. Click it.
Moving right along. We're not going to wait for that.
Alan Moraine. Moving right along. Alan Moraine. 90 likes. 90. Come on. 86. Come on. Come on, guys. Be the change you want in the world. Get us to 90. We did it. We did it.
The super chat. Garza, $10 Canadian. We're closer to the binars than we think. Remember how they just slumped against the wall when their computer went down? Real talk. Most of us do that when we lose the internet. Yes, or when our phone's charging and we go sit somewhere else. Yeah. It's like, oh.
I love a story that I heard on a podcast once where, the guy goes to a phone store to get his phone fixed and he's asked to wait, so he sits in the waiting room. Tries to pull out his phone. He's like, "Where's my phone?" He gets worried. Where'd he put it? It's like, "Oh, it's in the phone store."
Yeah.
Shit. So he just sits there in silence for like an hour waiting. It's like first thing he does.
Yep.
Love it.
But yeah, then we got the scene of the band playing and
103 likes, Stuart. We smashed it. And Red Palace. I'm here for the dialogue in perspective of both the captain and the commander. I couldn't do shows any other way. Thank you so much, Red Palace, and you here. You support. You super chat. We're here for you. And this is a good viewership. This is a high viewership. So thanks, guys.
It was a great episode. So
yes,
it's been really fun to talk about it so far. But we got Riker playing the bone. Sounds really dirty, so I'll say the trombone.
He just strokes it up and down. He makes music come out and makes the girls just shiver in glee.
Yeah. And when he's done, the dude leans over the bassist and he's like, "Yo, the chick digs you, man. You can tell." And then he said something about his playing, and the piano guy's like, "Yeah, about that. Don't give up your day job." Gotta love that.
It's really well written. Nothing. This is all subtle stuff, but it really adds to the atmosphere because it you know, the whole program is there to delay him. It's interactive. It's fun, but also it's like, well, why do you go to holodeck to have a unique time? You know. Well, I think her reaction to it is again very wooden.
A little bit. I will agree with that.
I'm looking at.
Is it wooden? Is it wooden or sultry? Because he specifically asked for sultry, and that's kind of like I'm too cool to not let anything show. You know.
No, it doesn't work for me.
But anyway, And this is where he says to her, "I've got to see to my duties," and she's like, "No, don't leave. Can we have a dance before you leave?" And then yeah, they start dancing. He's like, "You're so real. How far can this relationship go?" Well, there's a back room to this bar.
Yeah. It's a good conversation. It's a good. Again, the acting in this episode real good. You know, everything's very good in context. But yeah, they have a kiss. He falls for her that quickly, and this is. I mean, this feels like this is unusual for him. You know. Yet it's that easy. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Jeff Jacobs puts in $3 and says,
Thank
100
you.
likes, 49,983 subscribers. We'll go again at 150 or 50,000. So 150 likes or 50,000 subscribers. Guys, 140 of you here. Make sure you're all subscribed. I don't know if you all are.
Probably not.
Analytics tell us 44% of you are not subscribed. 44.3% to be exact. So
now I did write a note. I do want to ask you this just because. Why is he flirting with the holodeck?
because he's bored. He can get sucked in pretty easily, I guess, when you're thinking with the wrong head.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know. He's got nothing to do. He's got no real duties. Like you said, I'm really bad at organizing my personal time. I'm sure something will pop up. It always does. But anyway, then Picard walks in and...
with the best super chat that I was thinking.
Well, Brian Straight puts in a super chat of $5. In this episode, Picard plays Captain Cockblock. Yep, pretty much.
I said that out loud, actually. Not Captain,
I know.
but just Cockblock.
But the way that Riker deals with it is pretty good. He's like, "Yeah, stay, Captain." He could have said, "Seriously, piss off."
Well, they're open to anything in the future.
Oh, that's true.
Tasha would. Why wouldn't Riker?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
well, I love how
Stuart. That was terrible.
That was not terrible. It's fine. Something I would have said. I love how
Doesn't
she
make it
French,
better, Stuart.
I know. Trust me, I know. But I love how she speaks French to him, and he's like, talking about, and then she starts talking about how, the dedication that Riker has for his job and the love of his job is a credit to Picard. So she's kind of like laying it on thick for Picard now, to keep him there. She says the captain sets the tone for his crew. So yeah, it was really good, and he was impressed with. Oh, you know French, She's like, yeah. When I heard your name, I just accessed the cultural database. I love how it's explained from a computer's point of view.
Yep.
It's not like rocket science, guys.
and this is where her acting takes an absolute upturn.
Yeah, this is where she gets to, because now she's got two people to interact with, and I think she's learning a lot, getting a lot more information.
Because she not many people can be this nuanced of, I'm not real, but I'm interactive, but I'm explaining my real computer program nurse, but I'm doing it such a not like slutty seductive way. Just like the tone she has is really good here, because it's just like, well, of course, Jean-Luc, I'm doing this, and this to be better interacting with you people. Hi there. And you're not quite sure until this scene and the one before where he pumps in that she knows she's in a holodeck. But that's another level we haven't seen before, that she's completely aware of it, that she, like I say, she could delve into someone else's other, just get into French, taught French, which is why she's so good at keeping them there, because she can access all their records and that stuff. And it's fun to see Stuart actually speak French. That's actually a nice touch.
Yeah. And Jarzia puts in $5 Canadian.
Thank you again.
16 subs since yesterday. Keep it up. Only 3,126 live review and discussion episodes to go to crack 100K.
We'll get a lot more subscribers when we do the Picard content. I mean, there's 4 new shows coming out. We'll
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, as with Discovery, we took a big jump.
If you look at our analytics, it's like beginning of the year was like subscribers like this, and then once April, when Discovery's done, it's like,
yeah. Well, so. I mean, to be fair, ship nerds, there's less of them than normal people, and we've already captured a lot of you, so
yeah, exactly.
It's all good. We love
Now,
you guys to support us, because without you guys' support, we couldn't keep doing this. And so
now I gotta ask: is there anyone that's like fluent in French in the chat? Because Patrick Stewart's an English actor. He's got an English accent. When he speaks French, does he also have an English accent when he speaks French? I don't know how that works, if that's even a thing. But can you tell he's not? I don't know. I think you know where I'm going with that. But
I thought he did pretty good.
Oh, he did a
French.
fantastic job. Yeah. From what? Well, I know some French because I had to take it in school because Canada.
So did I, because France, but I hated it.
Yeah, same here.
You can tell he practiced it because it does come off like seamless. Give him all credit. He really like knew.
Riker is the reason my brother-in-law and I learned to play the trombone.
Oh.
Nice.
Separately,
mind you, as we hadn't met until post-college. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's
Cool.
weird.
Well, yeah, because didn't get married yet, I'm guessing. That's really cool.
And Tuning 3434 says at Trek Reviewer, isn't the captain the Canadian? Yes, I'm the Canadian.
And I am the English.
We have, yeah.
Oh, that's Dad.
We're bilingual here, so we have...
My dad says, I speak French, and he spoke French perfectly, as did Minuet. Hi, Dad. You're downstairs. Terrible.
Yeah, but you're also British and have a British accent. So do you hear the British accent in the French speaking?
When he goes to France, though, he speaks exclusively in French, so he's,
fluent?
Yeah. He's got better the last few years. Yeah,
my mother-in-law is fluent in 4 languages or 5? 4 languages. French is one of them as well.
What's the other ones? Well, I guess English and Slovakian.
German, Croatian, English, and French.
Yeah. That's a damn good sub. And obviously American, but that's just like broken English, so.
Yeah, and once you know German and French, a lot of the European countries, you can kind of put together what's being said anyway, because it's all kind of the root languages. And
yeah.
But yeah. I can't imagine being fluent in another language. I give so much credit to people that know more than one language.
Shared sentiment, exactly.
I know Star Trek. I can speak Star Trek. Does that count?
Quantum slipstream, tricoat warhead, polarized hull plating, Vidian. I sound smart. I make things go. Speaking of making things go, they've got to go, Stuart, because all of a sudden the magnetic containment around the antimatter and matter in the warp core is going, well, it's failing, and they've got to leave. But Wesley's like, are you gonna come to the bridge and help me fix it? And Geordie kind of like slapped him down, saying, no, I'll get engineering. Well, the problem is, we'll go fix it.
Yeah, but the problem is, they are where they're supposed to be, they're right behind the bridge. Yeah. They could just come up. Plus, that scene before, Data's standing there, and Geordie's like, what are you doing? I'm awaiting inspiration. Which isn't good.
So, yeah.
Gestrel 1980 puts in $5.
Thank you.
Picard says in French, "Ménage à trois," just creepy. Both of them like the same woman.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. You know.
But yes, possible trouble in main engineering. We'll go to engineering and check it out. Don't disturb the captain or commander until we check it out. That seems like such an odd thing to say. It's something you should probably let your captain know when there's magnetic containment issues with the antimatter pods. It's kind of an important thing.
Well,
I personally, okay, I'm a captain. I'm Captain Foley.
Right.
I'd like to know these things. Just put it on my radar at least. So I'm like, oh, okay,
Stuart,
taking care of it.
The antimatter containment of my computer is about to fail.
I don't care, Samuel. Shut up.
He didn't even skip.
But it's good to know. It's good to know so that I know if you disappear later, it's because your computer pissed off on you. So there you go. See.
Now I do agree, although I mean I don't know. I feel like there's some logic to let's not worry until we know, because kind of the vibe. It's like, yeah, we're smart. Yeah. We'll go check out before we know. Because if they're both relaxing, do you really want to let them by every problem? But that is the system you don't want to break. That's like, because they're also in the biggest space station in the Federation, probably. Like, you'll destroy the entire thing if warp core explodes. Like everything. Yeah. That's millions a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then do you think the core of the station also explode after that? Do you think there'd be enough of it remaining?
I have no idea.
Because they're right next to a planet. You can imagine the wreckage rain down and just a big ass station. That's no moon. That's a space station.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. You go to the new engineering set. I like the fact the warp core's blue but not vumming. Small touch, but important because, Stuart, everyone's off. There's no one on shift.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. There should be someone there.
I agree.
One guy.
I do like the speed of this scene though. It's like they get on scene, they start doing their thing. It's like it escalates so quickly.
Yep.
Strange readings from antimatter containment field. We cannot contact the captain. And then I made the point here that this is a male computer voice down in engineering.
Which is great. It feels like, oh, the binars, they've changed it. Awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. And did you notice the pace? I agree completely. Although Geordie, beep 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 beep, 2 consoles, and after the first console he says, "I've checked every single pathway. It's real." It's like, dude, really? Every pathway in 1 second?
It should have been a data line where he's like,
yeah,
I checked every pathway.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
I also did you notice that Brent's acting in this episode is a little bit off?
It's more human than android.
Yeah, it like you can see Brent. It's not like, especially this scene. He's sort of not yelling, but he's really assertive, and it's like that's not Data assertive. I get that. I'm assuming that Data, who's never had to be this like commanding, is basically mimicking a Picard. I'm guessing that could be the inference. But it is a bit of a Brent performance, not a Data performance. Nothing against it, but just something to note.
Yeah. And then
so one last thing with that, as Wesley says stuff, the lack of concern in his tone of voice. It's like, oh, so this ship's gonna explode. We should probably evacuate, shouldn't we? Yes, sir.
I think there's a starbase right there.
Yeah. But I just there's no like they didn't shoot at the same time, obviously. So it's like the tone is so different between the two sides of the conversation.
Yeah. But then we get the abandoning ship, set automatic departure.
God.
Abandoned ship, this is not a drill. Computer, where is the captain? Well, that comes up later, actually. But before that, abandoned ship, this is not a drill. Then you see these reactions from all these people, one of which is in engineering. But that's okay. It could be a different engineering room because it's a big ship.
It's engineering right? With the thing going from you can see the reflection. It's a really lazy cutaway strip.
And later, that's the little room that Picard and Riker walk into from this weird thing we never see again, kind of off the side there. But anyway, you get a bunch of people off duty, on duty.
Guy in the skirt from Farpoint again.
Yep. Same guy, same skirt.
Same corridor, man. Amazing.
These scenes are recycled from Farpoint for the saucer separation. People scattering through the hallways and falling down. Yes.
Well, extras are generally expensive. But I really like they go into they actually beam off, although they don't beam all pads.
Yeah, there's an empty pad there, guys. Plus, there's 8 transporter rooms, and then a couple cargo transporters. I mean, there could be other people lined up at the other ones as well, but whatever.
Well, yeah. Also, you can beam in the middle one, so they're wasting 2 whole pads when the emergency is. Yeah. It's a great scene to include because it's like this cost to do, but it's like, I mean, they're not quite alert enough. I guess they have drills, but it doesn't quite fit, not fully. I don't know, but it's good to see. And people leave. I actually really like this shot of Welcome to Starbase 74. They shot a camera at a blank wall and people go by it, but it's actually rather... I like that shot for some reason. It works really well. It's the cheapest shot in all of Star Trek, but it works really well.
That's why I made sure to get a shot of it. I like that.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, I love seeing people evacuate, taking whatever is available, not just transporters, but...
And you never see this. It's a genuinely unique sequence, actually. Because, I mean, how many times they docked at a starbase? What, under 5?
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually really unique.
Brian Strait puts in $5.
Thank you.
Warp core breach isn't possible, Picard in the Lost Outpost. What? Lost Outpost. Don't remember that.
Dude, please elaborate on a non-super chat. I would like you to... I want to know more. Sorry.
I got the notes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I got the notes here. All decks empty. Where's the captain? Curious. He's usually the last to leave.
Yeah.
We got to move. We've only got 41 seconds. Where? And then as soon as they show up
Oh
in this
god.
room, first thing is, where are the captain and commander? They're not here. What? We got to go back to get them. You don't have time to go back. Um, yeah.
I have a slight problem at this moment. You literally couldn't get from main bridge to transport room and beam off in 41 seconds. It's not possible.
Oh.
It's just not.
That would have been set the transporter to, do a
Side to side.
whatever site to site transport. Yeah.
Which would have been great. But literally, it's not possible. And it sounds stupid because the time it took them to get to the turbo, they've got 30 seconds, and the ride is going to be at least a minute. And
I love timing things like that. There's actually a Voyager instance with Paris and Kim, where they're on a shuttle. It's an alternate reality one, and we only have a minute and 30 seconds or something. And I'm like, oh really? Because usually we have a minute and 30 seconds means 10 fucking minutes. But I looked at my watch and I timed. It was literally a minute 30 seconds, or whatever the length of time was.
nice.
It was. I love when they do that. Keep it real. I hate when it's like, oh. Really?
Yeah. And just jump back 1 second, we get Tasha and Worf coming back in, and Tasha is not saying as much as Worf is for some reason. She's not concerned enough. She says, "Assemble a security team," and it's like, really? That's what you're going with? I just doesn't work.
Gestrel 1980 puts in $5.
Thank you.
Disco evacuated was nothing like this. This is how it's done. Not shot out of nowhere hallways.
Yeah.
It's on season 1 with the Acme folding magical evacuation ramps.
Yes.
Don't.
And
Anyway.
Jacob Tinkle, hey Stuart, the April dip in views and subscribers growth seems to be platform wide, not just you guys, at least something to Social Blade.
Well, nicer weather too. We notice trends like that when the nicer weather hits, go down, and then when the shitty weather comes back,
That's
they
why
pick back up until Christmas time, and then they go down again.
That's why we save certain videos, because if you release them at certain weeks, doesn't matter how good the videos are, you'll get lower views. I mean, it just doesn't
Everybody's
matter.
outside enjoying life. Like, what is wrong with you people?
Isn't there enough stuff to enjoy inside? I mean, you've seen the Minuet program,
Right?
Well,
Anyway, so seeing the Enterprise leave automatic departure is kind of cool.
yeah.
Warps out, which fine. Usually I give them flack because you shouldn't be warping in a solar system, but it's emergency. Get it?
Well,
Get
to
it
be fair,
far away as possible.
The A did warp out less than 2 minutes from space dock. 3 minutes. It's not far. It's
Which movie?
Huh?
It's number 3.
Yeah, I mean, it was
They
right.
were stealing the Enterprise. Of course, they're gonna warp
They're
out.
stealing the Enterprise. The Bidars are.
Well, yes. Okay, fine.
Because I don't.
But
think...
even if they weren't stealing it, if they put it to warp, fine, they're stealing it. But I think part of the evacuation to get the fuck far away from the planet and the space dock is to send it to warp before it explodes.
See, I thought the opposite. I think that's when they knew something was wrong, when it goes to warp, because going to warp with an unstable warp core is very dangerous, and if it explodes in subspace, that's more damaging. I think you can argue both ways, but
yeah, pieces of the ship at warp in the solar system just
I mean, yeah,
decimate all the planets in the solar system.
it's a big explosion, Stuart. So I think they took it to warp, and that's why it's weird.
It's weird because my next note is the magnetic field is regenerating. I don't remember when that was said.
No, here, right here.
When they were pulling out before it went to warp.
Before they ran out the dock. Like, it's really early.
Okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Miners are doing it then, yeah.
I'll give them some fun credit here because they've already put a lot of money in this episode, and it is damn tricky to make these effect shots. But if you look at what they've got a I think it's flipped and reverse time of them going in as them going out. I think that's what that is. Then you've got the tidal sequence shot of them going to warp, but starting earlier than we've ever seen it, because then, I think the camera, it's weird. It's very clever. Like they use every frame of footage, edited together into a very forced sequence, but it's 4 space shots in a row, and for them at this time, that's really high budget, and I give them absolute credit for the weird, disjointed but good editing here. Like they did their job in the editing bay to make this shot work.
It's a lot of work, but with recycled stuff, so it's like not as expensive. It's like that's why they use the Star Trek 3 stuff. So I mean, the credit is definitely there for that. And
it is jarring, but like I say, they used every second of possible footage and made it work. Yeah. Because now this would be, I mean, I could make this sequence in, half a day. That would be more dynamic. But they did. I'm just sort of gone about it, but that's just fun. And then I gave them credit earlier for their really good handheld stuff. This is where I give them not credit for the look at the ship. It's really shaky. It's too shaky.
I noticed that with the camera, but you got to think that's the technology of the time.
Yes.
So they didn't have the gimbals necessarily.
They pushed it too far, though. The walk and talks are perfect.
You can see the person walking.
Yeah. I get what we're going for, but you're about 10 years too early with this sort of shot. Although it's fun. It's really fun to see the sets like this. Because you don't get to see them like this.
I would have loved to have got on these sets. I would have loved to have been on this set.
And sorry to not trying to brag, but I did go on the Vegas set, so I have been on one of the corridors. It wasn't as nice. It was more plasticky feeling. The Transformer was better. I think that was also bigger too. I wish I had more memories of that. It sucks.
I wish I could have made it to that before it.
God, if we had Trekyards back then, Jesus, we could have had yearly pilgrims and organised to do episodes on the Enterprise D Bridge. Sorry. I'm dribbling.
That's all right. So we're back in the holodeck now.
Oh
and this is the whole conversation of it's like she's plugged into my subconscious. She says what I want her to say before I know I want her to say it. And then they're like, we should go. Picard says I should go. And she's like, don't go. And even Riker's like, yeah, stay, Captain. And then he's like, no, I think I'm gonna go.
2 comments, one side, Starfleet 2486 I'm very sure they knew exactly what they were doing. They're professionals, as you know. Yes, but limitations limit what you can do. Just because you're a professional doesn't mean that you can make good things if you're limited by budget, time, effects. I mean, professional just means you're paid to do work. Think of all the B movies, they're all professionals making it. Doesn't mean they're good. So, just to, whatever. And this picture I've stayed on, I was going. I love this sequence. Yes, for what Stuart said, I love the conversation, but this first shot, I mean, guys, the most third-wheeling, framing, angle shot. I love it. It's the most third-wheel you could possibly film, and then they're so intent, and then Picard's like, he doesn't realize he's not picking up on the cues, despite him calling out her for picking up cues. He doesn't sense the romances in the air. He's just like, this is fascinating, number one. I mean, you guys, wow. I just love it. It's an awesome third wheel sort of scene. I love the framing of this scene because it's the most third wheel framing you could possibly have. I love it for that. And he doesn't know. He calls her out for knowing, sensing things. But he's completely oblivious to their romance. He's just like, wow, this is really fascinating. And they're like, hello, mon William, I love you. And it's brilliant. I love the. It's a scene where, again, the director knows exactly how to pitch all the actors and gets it. Very good.
Mm. So they eventually leave, despite her protests.
Which is good. I love the escalation of that. It's very natural.
Yeah. And the door opens and it's a red alert. And it's like, what's going on? We're at warp, heading towards planet Venus. Yeah, headed to planet Venus in the Beta Magellan star system. And I love how she's in the background like this, like her hands are. And you see a close up of her, like she's not moving, like she's almost paused.
Yep.
Then they ask her what's going on, and she's like, I don't know. I'm not programmed to answer you.
Yeah. It's a good touch. I like you swap perspective to them now because she's finished her job, and you kind of think she's out of the episode, but I really appreciate how they bring her back in for the closing bit. Mm-hmm. Although I think the Magellan bit here, talking to the Arch, isn't good. It's a very long sequence. There's a lot of questions, with a lot of short answers, but she's clearly rushing through dialogue. It's really abrupt, and it doesn't play very well.
Probably need a computer voice last minute. She was there.
Possibly.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe. But I think they're running out of time because again, so much to cram in, Stuart. I mean, everything's in this episode. You know, it's a kitchen sink sort of episode.
Yeah. Um, so they're trying to figure out what's going on with the Enterprise.
It's
Blah
the
blah blah.
Binars, Stuart, because the Binars aren't here. Although you would have assumed that the guy in charge would have been slightly giving a shit about the Binars to get them off the ship, but it's like, oh yeah, my highly talented people, they're not here either. Oops, didn't realise. It's like, I mean, that was your one job here, mate.
Yeah.
Really?
The scene. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you jump in first.
You're gonna see the scene of them walking down the corridor is great. Heading to the weapons room.
Yeah. Shouldn't be armory, but
no.
It's fun to see. Yeah, I was gonna say in this scene we learned that there's the closest ship is 66 hours away. The ship's in the base, need to be repaired. So Stuart, they are the only ship in the quadrant. Almost.
Again, always.
And I love how Data's like, that ship is too small and too slow. Because, like, I mean, to be fair, if the Enterprise D is going at top warp, can anything in the fleet catch them?
Probably only other Galaxy classes, which there aren't many of, as we know. So.
Yeah.
Fleet Plus Swiftback puts in $1.99.
Thank you.
Have a good night, gents. Great review as always. See you later. Thank you for joining us.
Good night, and we'll see you on Saturday. Hopefully, Fleet Pour. It'll be early in the day, so hopefully that's good for you.
Yes.
I think pretty early than last time as well, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Anyway, yes, Armory. And I like, again, this episode, because I'm writing a script right now for something, and I appreciate the methodical nature. You understand everyone's point of view. You get the beat for beat. It's some of it's unnecessary, but what should they do, and they do it. You know? It's a very natural progression of stuff. So they go and get a weapon because you don't just have the weapons, and then they have to beam in. Well, we're not there yet, but it's good. It's very well thought out. Yeah.
Well, the note that I have actually before they leave the holodeck is when they saw you're interested in me, they reprogram me to hold your interest. But you couldn't answer why specifically. Then they leave.
Yes.
So yeah.
I think that's a timed response. I think that I won't tell you yet because that would be too easy. I think they need to discover stuff.
Well, they head down to engineering and come out of this magical, mystical corridor, which we never ever see or use again.
No, we do. We did earlier in the season. I think we do once more.
Maybe.
Because this also confuses me.
It's very rare, yeah.
Yeah, very, very rare. I think that's actually a production corridor. Like, that's how they get on the set. There's nothing back there except, like, the actual set.
The vacuum cleaner and the mop.
Yeah, seriously. I think that's just, like, the back, so they never shoot that way. Or they close out the wall, because, that's where the isolinear chips were, surely.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they verify containment. They're going to verify containment and initiate auto-destruct. Yes. Why auto-destruct, sir? Well, the ship's been commandeered by an unknown force of unknown size and intent. Now, we must be in total agreement about this, and we're only going to have a 5-minute countdown. That's where it falls apart a little bit for me, because there's like 3 different destruct codes, at least for the refit Enterprise, that change where the explosions happen, how they happen, whether it's an orbited planet or in deep space.
Cannon.
And you can set the length for some of them. So this is kind of an odd choice for a huge Galaxy class ship. There's only one auto destruct. It's only set for 5 minutes.
And it's also really easy to turn on. Like, it's almost so easy to turn on by mistake. Get drunk one day. So, right, can I destroy the ship? Oh, yes, I authorize. You'll be killed in 5 minutes. What? No, not really. But yeah, this is, again, one of those subtle things of, we need to show it, but we're running out of time.
Yeah, and it's such a weird countdown display, too. It's like a 1970s.
Awful. Yep.
1970s alarm clock.
Yep.
Like a bedside clock.
You can tell they cut out part of that plexiglass, put a monitor there.
We don't have a countdown time. We got this one. Ugh. Okay, we're going to use it.
Yeah, and then filled it back in next week. Like, there's never a screen there again. Like, it's and you can see the edges, how it's not quite lining up properly.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's fine.
But then we see the little monitor there where we see all the binar data.
Yes, it's cool. It's cool data.
Yeah.
And I want to call out, Murray said how they finally have the expensive first console because they have a close-up.
Yeah.
Well, I do really wish though they'd spent less time on. Again, I like all the stuff, but less time on one of the people's colorways to have 1A, 1B. That would have been a really nice link. You didn't need it, but it would have been nice. And just I know we're jumping ahead a little bit now, but they mentioned that we do need someone there as a backup, but they do not explicitly say 2 people. So how lucky is that you have 2 people? They both got sucked in.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a command override code that you can maybe do with one person.
But also at the end with the binar needing 2 people to unlock a code. It's a...
Oh, yeah.
You need 2 things. You need 2 people, and both.
I think
coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to say maybe the binars wanted them on board, but they didn't because they said we won't need you till inspection. So yeah.
Now I can buy they're that smart, but it's not in the script. You know.
Yeah. And I love this. We're gonna head to the bridge, sir. We only have 5 minutes. Well, either we'll make it to the bridge and turn it off, or we won't. So the vessel must not fall into enemy hands.
No, but be honest though, Stuart. What do you think of the escalation from 0 to we're going to destroy the ship and kill ourselves? First reaction.
A little bit dramatic, but coming from their point of view, everything was fine. All of a sudden, the hallway, there's nobody aboard the ship. We're not in Starbase anymore. We're at high warp.
Yeah.
Literally unknown size, force taking over the Enterprise. We don't know size or intent. Could be the Romulans.
Yeah.
Maybe they snuck on board or corrupted the binars somehow. Yeah. So many options. It's like we can't let this new top of the line starship fall into enemy hands. So let's set self-destruct. So it kind of a little bit too soon, but at the same time not.
Do you think that Picard, because they were both in a relaxed state, do you think Picard feels guilty that he was actually lured in?
Yep.
That he's like, I'm going to react to these motherfuckers by, they're not going to take the ship. So he's like overreacting because he's a bit pissed off at them personally.
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, but they say, how are we going to get there? Because bloop, we can't get through. Oh no, we're not there yet. God, no, we're not there yet.
We are though.
What is Geordie and... Oh, no, that was a scene about other ships can't get there yet. Okay, sorry, yeah.
So they go to use the turbo lift. Access is denied. So what's our next plan?
Transporter.
So transporter room. One of us will beam in, and no, you could be a trap. You could be outmanned, outgunned, whatever. Let's both beam in, and maybe one of us will be enough of a distraction, so maybe only one of us will die.
Yeah.
It's kind of a stupid idea. One of them should have beamed into like the turbo lift.
Well, he did suggest that, to be fair.
Or beamed into the red room, or beamed into the toilet, or But they beam in so close together. It's not like they're staggered. Like they're not in the alcove by the ready room and back by the conference room.
Yeah.
Because they need to be in one shot. They kind of beam in like. Boom.
That is very true, Stuart. You blew my mind there.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It would make logical sense. Like, I love that they're doing this. It's logical. It's smart. Great. Although, if you want to go one step further, whoever's taking the ship might assume they do this and would block the transporters and kill them via it. But.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, that's the scene that just happened with Geordi and Data. Data's like, I'm responsible for this.
Yes.
You can't be on the bridge every second, Data. Well, actually, I can. Been painting. So it's kind of like a small character moment for Data.
Is. I don't think he learns from it, because he doesn't. But
he shouldn't have to. He shouldn't be expected to be on the bridge every second, right? So. And
also that'd be creepy. I think you get the feeling that the writer of this legit studied the Bible, the show Bible, and earlier scripts, and really, apart from Yar, but everyone's failing Yar. You can see why she was let go. Every character has good beats. They're actual character beats. Yeah.
Well, Trek Reviewer says, I wonder why Picard and Riker didn't use the Jeffries tubes to the bridge that we see in the season 4 episode Brothers. Probably because they don't have enough time. They've only got 4 minutes and 41 seconds after they left engineering. And these these main transporter rooms are on like deck 5 or 6, if I recall correctly. That'd be quite a climb up to the bridge. Plus, they're
Yeah.
probably on one of the outer parts of the saucer, not the center part. So, for time, obviously. But yeah, so they go into the transporter room, set a 10-second transporter delay, and got a lot of the look at each other, and then the beam out really good.
Yeah,
And then
texturally it's a really nice, good scene. But I was visualizing, I forgot in the moment that you'd assume they'd beam as far away, actually hugging a wall each, because the way they beam in, they do see possible threat. But if there's actually a Klingon there, say at the back, he'd have seen them both, shot them both. Like they're not quite active enough, but it's a good idea, just wrongly executed. But obviously they see instantly there's no threat here, except the slumped binars.
Yes, and they're like, help us.
They're taking a little nap.
They appear dead. So they're at Binus now. And yeah, I personally, okay, Captain Foley, Commander Calkins, we had to do this. I would have beamed in. I would have been right beside my ready room door.
Yes.
Out of line of sight of the captain's chair, because it's around the corner, right?
Okay, sure.
I would have had you beam in like by the conference room exit, so we have both sides of the bridge covered.
And 3 of my sides are covered by doors that people can't be behind.
Exactly. And same with mine. And I can just have to peek around the corner to see what's going on.
Sure.
But because of framing and camera issues.
And to be fair, they can scan, like part of a transporter array is they can scan what's in a room and detect things. So they could have known there were 4 entities in that corner.
Unless there's somebody's giving off false reasons to make you think that there's 4 disabled bodies on the bridge when there's not. If it's a clever enough starship hijack, you could definitely get false readings or a scattering field. There's
again,
lots of reasons.
A lot of stuff to do. We've got to burn through it. Luckily, the pace isn't too fast. It's on that knife's edge, though, guys. It really is. And you mentioned when Picard said they look dead, or they're dead. He didn't scan them, didn't even touch them. It's a ridiculous line. I actually laughed out loud. It's like, I think they're dead. And it's like, what evidence do you have, Captain? None. Well then, shut up. It's great.
Here we find out that all equipment on their planet appears to be inert.
Wait, stop 1 second. Not to be rude, but they're already at Binar, right?
Yes.
Or whatever the planet's called. They had 5 minutes, they're there 2 minutes, so they've been 3 minutes at warp. How long do we assume they're actually at warp before? Because I got the sense it was really quick. So then is Binar just like round the corner?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at a star chart because they do exist. They could have been at warp for any amount of time though, honestly, before they came out of that holodeck. Because that's the feel you get in the holodeck is that there's a lot of time and meandering and just general conversation going on. Yeah. So it's hard to tell how much time has passed.
Because when you give a ticking clock, it's like 3 minutes is not far.
Yeah.
I just want to point out because I realized they're already at Binar. I was like, already?
Yep. But yeah, all equipment on their planet appears inert.
Yes.
And every byte of space in the computer had been filled.
Yes.
What? Oh, yeah, they've uploaded the core from their home world to the computer, essentially. But they disabled the auto destruct at 1 minute and 52 seconds. So yay for them.
Yeah, I like that. Again, we're zooming through a plot, but it goes straight from this risk of death to risk of different people's death. Although, again, this is where it falls down a little bit. If this was a modern show, you show an exterior of the planetscape, and there'd be like flying cars that are then diving in and hitting the planet. Like you get a sense of the chaos from everyone being unconscious, or you'd see like, a park with 500
just
people.
Bodies lying there. Yeah.
You need that because this is. I mean, the implication is this is the entire planet basically was EMP'd. So they turned off the planet, and they got to restore it. That like is literally life or death of an entire civilization, but it doesn't have that impact. It's weirdly light.
It's just that one line that says most of their world seems inert. It's like, if you miss that one line of dialogue, you kind of miss the gravity of the situation. which I did many times when I watched this before.
That's I think this episode's biggest flaw. It doesn't realize its premise to its fullest because it's too full. But that's okay, because it's easy. They get the information back on because they realize that no, we're not there yet. God damn it. Okay, they can't get the information back on. We're not there yet.
Yeah, and this is where I wish they had left a note. Maybe they did.
Great dialogue. Great dialogue. It's good dialogue.
Right? Then we learn that a star. Oh, this is where they go down to talk to Minuet because she's the note.
Yes.
And now that they've reached Binar, she can tell them what's going on.
Yes.
She says there was a star in the binary system that went supernova, and they miscalculated. It went supernova too early, and electromagnetic pulse was going to knock out their main computer. So they needed to scramble really quickly because the Enterprise was late already and delayed. The Enterprise had the only mobile computer big enough to store their entire core.
It's smart. It's a really simple but really smart idea. I really like it. I think they did a good job here.
It's a good delivery method too. And again, when you go back down there, she's like this, like frozen on pause, and then she like.
And that's again good direction. The director understands the situation. It really well thought out. All the credit in the world for that.
So they go back up. They contact Starbase 74, talk to Data. He tells them about how to access the file, and of course it doesn't work. There's no such file that exists. So access denied. And then I got a lot of screenshots of that. Damn it. And then maybe because they work in pairs of two, we both have to do it. Kind of like turning the nuclear launch codes with two different keys.
Exactly.
And that works. They start downloading the data to the core.
And it works.
Yeah.
It is that simple.
I love the synchronized getting up from the chair.
Yes.
It's totally synchronized. It's like, wow. How did you do that on purpose? Or
it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor.
They both turn. It's like, oh, that's beautiful. It's like, how long did you practice that? It's like
again,
synchronized swimming.
Damn good direction.
Yeah.
I want to jump back to the one thing that really stuck me out. They get back on the bridge before they do the fix, right? And he birdibs the starbase.
Yeah.
For real-time audio communication instantly. Now, I think, again, you can have both perspectives. Doesn't work and does work. Because, we harp on Discovery that you can do real-time video call across the entire universe, no problem. When TOS, you had to send messages across the galaxy that would, quadrant that would take weeks. My argument, though, is that obviously he's tuning through the computer's comm relay. Yep. But you also wouldn't expect to be able to do real-time audio necessarily between star systems. That's still a bit of a stretch.
No, I disagree, because Binus, whatever, is it's in the Federation territory. It's not far.
That's true.
It's not far. So you have all these relay stations. You got all this network set up. So it wouldn't be like probably instant, but it'd be close enough that it would be quick back and forth.
I think that's also almost too complicated, because then they're next to the biggest starbase ever. That thing has got communication relays that are bloody impressive. Yeah. Like, I think between these two it works just fine. It does feel a bit out of place instantly via it doesn't quite he should have tapped his captain's chair, so it's through his ship rather than it just feels so minimalist when it's a massive feat actually to be able to do that.
You're on the bridge. He would have to stand at the ops station and hit a console and be like, Starbase 74. Or, or his captain's chair. Yeah, I totally buy that.
Small thing, but it kind of comes out, it just feels a little bit too easy. Yeah, that's all. Small thing, but it's just like, oh, okay.
Area 51 says, data is reduced to tech support. Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in again?
Well, they did turn the planet back on again. Went off and turned it back on again. So actually they did. And as soon as that happens, Stuart, the binars are back and absolutely fine. Completely fine. No problems at all.
Well, yeah, they got rebooted essentially, right?
They did.
So, and it's like, why didn't you just ask us for help? You might have said no. Well, you could have asked, because we could have built you a new computer. And then it's the whole, It's been a while. And he sets the course back for Starbase 74. Even though there was that 48-hour time limit, are we going to be late for that appointment that we were so scheduled to be at? Like, I don't understand. They don't. Again, good episode wrap up. Everything's fine. And they take off.
Yes. I do love this moment, though. It's really in character. Because it could have been Riker. That would have been more sense. But Picard's actually perfect.
He's enjoying it, yeah.
Yeah. Because they're both not in the work mode.
Yeah.
They're both off their game. So, yeah, it's fun. You never see this position again, I don't think. That's it. That's your one little bit of there.
And then we get more docking. And everybody comes back on board.
It's the same docking, Stuart. It's just
I know.
replayed.
It's fine. I love how the binars are still there. And they're like, we're going to, face what we've done kind of thing. Because it was a pretty substantial thing. But, they got off easy because of the reasoning. So it's fine.
And to be fair, they might still improve the ship. That still might be on the cards. Although, do you think, though, and be honest, is the race going to be punished? Like, is the race to blame, or will it blame these four? Because if it's one big society,
they're not a race. They're like the Borg. They're all interconnected.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing would happen. The Federation would be like, oh, it's okay. Just ask us next time.
I mean, I would assume they do like you won't get your bonus to be part of the Federation this month.
Yeah. You're not getting paid for all the upgrades you did to the well.
Yeah, that.
Gestrel, 1980. Yeah, he time served, community service.
Yeah.
Puts in a super chat of $5. Interesting that the CO of the Starbase is only a commander like Cisco was. This is much bigger Starbase than DS9, and only.
So my assumption is that was Utopia Planitia. So my assumption is this isn't his, he's going around and improving ships. Either they come to him or he meets them at a starbase. So the impression I didn't get was that he was actually the CEO of the entire starbase, that he was just doing this protocol, otherwise his multiple titles wouldn't quite make sense, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You kind of lost me there because you cut out. So.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think he was the CEO of that planet, of that space station per se, because they specifically said that he was one of the ones that actually built the Enterprise, and he's also doing the repair, he's doing the upgrades to ships. So either ships come to him or he goes to the ships. Don't think
he's kind of like Kaczynski with the Traveler. He's kind of going around doing his thing. Yeah, I didn't get the impression that he was the commander of the Starbase at all.
Because he's there to fix ships, and this isn't a starbase. I mean, why would he go from Planitia to here, on the edge of nowhere? So I didn't get a sense he was CEO. But yes, commander in charge of projects, sure. I think he might have said being command, but I don't necessarily buy it.
But Riker goes down for some horny time, and is disappointed because it's not the same girl, and he comes back up looking all sad and like somebody just kicked his dog, and he's like, she's not there, sir. I tried multiple ways to get her back, and it's just not the same. Yeah. And then Picard's like, well, maybe not every relationship can work.
I should know with Beverly, and you should know with Troy. It's like, you brought up Troy? God damn it. You're not in this episode again. Weirdly. I do like this. I actually like... I wrote not Minuet in my notes, and he says, not Minuet. You're the not Minuet actress. That should be in a casting call. Right, we want the not Minuet now. Great. I also love this end shot with all the people on the bridge. But boy, Stuart, look at Worf and Tashiar both sharing the station, looking redundant. Why are they both there? You can tell one of them's getting fired.
They're phasing Worf in.
It's terrible. And then they warp or they leave, and there you have it. 100 many ones, many zeros. Episode TNG.
11001001.
Small super chats. Awesome.
Yes, we got Eugene puts in 250 rubles and says, is Starbase controlled by Starfleet or the Federation? They're this one and the same?
Well, it's presumably
I'd say it's Starfleet.
I would assume it. No. Maybe it's a Federation Starbase manned by Starfleet, because it's doing official duties of the Federation. Anything that would involve tech stuff, it would have to be involved with if it's on like a military level. And these ships, whatever you want to call them, they're still military assets as well. So, good question.
Denver Brock puts in $2.
Thank
Do
you.
you believe the Bynars would embrace the Borg? You would think so. Yes, they essentially are the Borg. They're like the Borg White, if you will. Because all the Borg would have to do is assimilate one of them or a pair of them, and they'd have access to the whole Bynar network and essentially corrupt them all through that. That'd be a cool line in like Best of Both Worlds. They've made it to Bynar. Oh no! Like Bynar is now essentially a Borg planet
They are now
in
one with
Federation
Bynar.
space. Yeah.
Yeah, I do disagree though. I could be, but I think that the Bynars have worked so hard to create their own society, they wouldn't want to give that up. Because they're an individual planet and a race, even if they're not individuals themselves necessarily anymore. But I get why. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's time for my wrap up and.
Yes, detailed spoiler, full thought, and if our conversation has changed your opinion, as it often does.
It hasn't, because I love this one going in. I loved watching it, and it's actually better than I remember. For multiple reasons. The little character moments are fantastic, sprinkled throughout. The pacing is good. There's some really excellent scenes that are really well paced, like that engineering scene with Data and Geordi, just the way that the thing escalated and had to move to abandoning the ship and evacuating. I thought it was fantastically done. It's good to see some Starfleet procedures on how those things would happen. So there's a lot of really cool stuff in here. You get the docking at the starbase. You get a lot of procedural stuff, which is really cool to flesh out Starfleet as a whole. You get another starbase, 74, which is apparently just an upscaled, Space Dock 1, which is fine. And some really great scenes recycled from Star Trek 3 many times. But that's okay, because it all looks really good, and it's a fun episode. You get to introduce to the Bynars and the whole computer-based civilization, and the whole we're running late, so they had to jump up their timeline, and the whole explanation at the end. It's like that all makes so much sense why this all happened and unfolded the way it did. Plus the holodeck upgrades, which don't stick, I guess, because they can't get Minuet back, but that's fine. Lots of cool stuff in this episode. Absolutely loved it. So for season 1 of TNG, I'm going to give this a solid 8. I think it's a fun episode. I really enjoy this one for multiple reasons. So I'm going to give it an 8. Out of all of TNG, though, I'm probably going to give it a 7. 6.5, 7. It's good. And well, maybe 7 or 7.5. I think it's still pretty solid as far as an episode goes. It's one that I really enjoy watching. So rewatchability is a big thing for my scoring. So yeah, those are my scores.
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely a solid episode. Like I said, I think it really wins in terms of filmmaking. This is a good director, a good writer, that had a good team. They pushed. I mean, you look at this episode, they filmed these sets like no one else has before. It's a unique episode, and it really feels different, and it feels bigger, it feels more grand, yet it feels smaller because it's so character focused. So yeah, it's actually a really good filmmaker that's done it. Actually, I'm going to Google when we talk to the audience who did it, and we can see if they did any more. But yeah, it's good. I think, like I say, it's too packed, and it doesn't quite realize the potential of the concept, but it completely realizes what it's trying to do, and that is a very small distinction, but it's important. But it's got a lot of really good parts. The script, like I say, is really good. The acting's good. The logic is good, and the pace is so close to being not good, with like how many little scenes, but it does still work, and that is a testament to editing. Legit testament to editing. But honestly, you've stolen my scores. Honestly,
Sorry.
That's fine. Which is kind of what we did with some Discovery as well by then. 8 is I think it's very respectable season 1. It doesn't quite hit the legendary, like, oh, that's amazing.
No.
It doesn't quite. It's hard to really put into words why, except what I've already said. But it is
But just having what we've seen from season 1 so far and not knowing what comes after, this is definitely like up there.
yes.
You know what I mean? Because we know there's so many epic episodes coming. It's like we got to kind of balance this one in there.
This would be a refreshing, like, because considering after last week where the script was garbage, this audience would be like, oh damn, Star Trek TNG can be good. Like if you watch only those two, you'd be like, really? Wow, same show. I think like I say, all of TNG, I was gonna say like 6.5. I could probably push it to a 7, but I think that's probably a little bit generous because there's like a lot of better episodes. I think it works better as a really good season 1 than necessarily a really good all of Star Trek. But I think a 6.5 is totally good, worth a rewatch, and I think you could be forgiven to not think this was a season 1 episode. If they were to suddenly remaster it, add a beard, take out the lines, you could probably fake it. So there you go, guys. Let us know what you think. Give us both the out of TNG and out of... Before we read them straight, I want to go into who the director was. The director was Paul Lynch. He did 10 episodes of TNG and DS9, combined 5 of each. He did Naked Now. One's obviously Unnatural Selection as well, which is the Pulaski aging garbage one. A Matter of Time, which is the Future Professor. I like that one a lot. First Duty, which is the non-Tom Paris episode. Also pretty solid. In terms of DS9. That's 10's quite a lot to be asked back for. A Man Alone, which in DS9, which rings no bells.
It's a sheer episode, I think.
Season 1. And then Babel, which none of the pictures also ring a bell particularly. But again, season 1. Q-less. So Vash and Q. The Passenger. Again, season 1 doesn't ring a bell. And Battle Lines, which is season 1 where there's 2 people that can keep replicating and healing. So lots of season 1, but none of those are particularly great. No offense. They're all pretty average. That's what else he's done. But hey, came in swing.
9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for TNG, or for season 1. 7 out of 10 for all of TNG. 9 out of 10. I love the conversations going on in the chat right now because they're talking about the binars and why they didn't ask the Federation. But because it's binary, there's only 2 options, yes and no. So there's a 50% chance they would have said no to helping them, according to their mind. So, yeah, that's really fantastic.
That's what they said in the episode. It's certainly a thought-out answer. I'm going through the guy's IMDb. He directed RoboCop 4. Hot garbage, RoboCop 4. It's one of the only ones that Peter Weller didn't appear. 5 episodes of the RoboCop TV show, also hot garbage. RoboCop 4 is really bad. It's embarrassingly bad. But he's done also thing. I don't recognise any of it. Which doesn't necessarily say much to me, but not much sci-fi or anything. But
yeah.
So what else are people saying? 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Wow, that's that. So Carla, this is one of your favourite episodes. This is top 10% of all of TNG. And if TNG is how many episodes?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Obviously, I'm asking. 176 episodes. This is one of your 17 favourite season TNG episodes. That's the problem with the rating system. That's why we're kind of dubious to give high, because this is not one of the top 17 episodes. It really isn't. But top 30.
Oh, yeah, I think it would slide in there pretty good.
It could, for unique feel, maybe, yeah.
But definitely top, probably 5 or 6 for season 1 for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't even know. I can't honestly remember. I'm embarrassed that I don't remember if we even gave like a 9 yet. I don't think we did yet. I think we're not given a 9. Oh god, great trilogy. Would have been 10 out of 10 if it was an Orville ep. This would be a good Orville episode. They could push it like further. Yeah. That would be fun actually. That would be yeah.
I expect it to be rewritten as an Orville episode. Because really, he takes a lot of the standard tropes and episode ideas.
I think season 3 will be very creative, though. I think 3 will be... Because getting 3 seasons of any show is quite impressive, like especially nowadays, when you get cancelled after 2 or 1. But anyway, guys, we've been the full 2 hours, so final Super Chat. Who wants to be the final winner? We had a great set of views today. We didn't quite hit 150, but 132 likes, which is awesome. And we're taking tomorrow off. And then, should we say this was a Saturday we're both thinking of? And then we'll do it earlier in the day. I guess quite early for you.
Yeah, we'll do it early enough in the day on Saturday. We'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know. Just keep your eyes peeled to either the YouTube channel or the Facebook page to see when we're doing our live ones the weekend.
And if you're in the UK, we'll be drinking around dinner time. And if you're in Stuart's time, like lunchtime, like midday time to drink.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Well, Jarzia sent $2 Canadian.
Thank you.
7 out of 10 for TNG, 8.5 out of 10 for season 1. Very cool premise. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
And also, my last note. I really appreciate that there's no antagonist. There's no villain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're doing it for a purely. I mean, come on. The Enterprise crew have done worse things to save an entire planet. Be honest.
Yeah.
You know, stolen ship with no casualties and no repercussions. You know. So I think for what they did whatever. So yeah, I guess thanks so much. Thanks, Charlie, for the last one, and everyone else support for the rest of the thing. We hope you guys enjoyed and on the watching after the fact. And we'll see you on Saturday. Until next time, guys.
And Martin Devon puts in £2 and says final. He's the final super chat. So thank you, Martin.
He's Captain Foley.
No, I'm 1.
Oh. I'm 0.
That's right.
Together.
Bye, guys.
Bye.